Good afternoon, friends. My today topic is leading case law of Advocate on Court examination of the Supreme Court of India. The case law is Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India of 2018. This is known as a landmark judgment that decriminalized consensual same-sex relationship between adults by striking down a portion of Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code. This case was significant victory for the LGBTQ community in India, affirming the right to privacy and equality for individuals regardless of their sexual orientation. Now let us dive into the background of the case. Section 377 of the IPC, enacted during British colonial rule, criminalized unnatural offences, which included consensual same-sex relations. It was primarily used to target individuals engaging in homosexual acts, making it a criminal offense punishable with imprisonment. Despite changes in societal attitude, Section 377 continued to affect the rights and dignity of LGBTQ community in India. This case was filed by Navtej Singh Johar, a dancer and a choreographer, and 12 other petitioners who challenged the constitutionality of Section 377, arguing that it violated fundamental rights under the Indian Constitution, including the right to equality under Article 14, right to freedom of expression under Article 19, and right to life and personal liberty under Article 21. The petitioners contended that Section 377 criminalized consensual sexual acts between adults, which is violation of their privacy and dignity. So this was the background of the case. And later on, the key issues in the case arose. The central issue before the Supreme Court was whether Section 377 of the IPC, insofar as it criminalizes consensual sexual conduct between the adults of the same sex, was unconstitutional and violated fundamental rights under the Constitution of India. So this was the legal issue which was to be decided by the Honorable Supreme Court. While deciding, the Honorable Supreme Court gave judgment. Firstly, it struck down Section 377 partially, not fully. In a 5-judge bench decision, Honorable Supreme Court ruled unanimously that consensual same-sex relations between adults conducted in private shall no longer be criminalized under Section 377 of the IPC. Honorable Court held that the provision, insofar as it criminalizes such conduct, was unconstitutional and violated the fundamental rights of the individual. The court declared that Section 377 would no longer apply to consensual acts between adults in private, decriminalizing homosexuality. Now comes right to second issue, right to equality and non-discrimination. The court ruled that Sexual orientation is an intrinsic part of an individual's identity and should be protected under the right to equality granted by Article 14 of the Indian Constitution. It recognized that LGBTQ community has historically faced discrimination and has been marginalized due to this section. The court emphasized that right to privacy as established in the Puttaswamy case of 2017 and held that consensually same-sex relations between adults in private fall within the scope of this right. The right to privacy also includes the right to personal autonomy and choices in matters of sexual preferences and intimacy. The judgment reaffirmed that personal dignity cannot be violated by the criminalization of consensual relationship between adults, and it struck down any law that sought to infringe upon personal autonomy in this context. The court acknowledged the harmful impact that Section 377 had on the LGBTQ community, leading to widespread discrimination, harassment, and stigmatization. It recognized that criminalization of homosexuality resulted in social exclusion and hindered the community's access to basic rights such as employment, healthcare, and education. The judgment emphasized the importance of constitutional morality, which called for respect for the rights of minorities and rejection of social prejudices. The court observed that laws must evolve to reflect the progressive values of the modern democratic society. The judgment did not legalize same sex marriages and civil unions. That's why it is known as partial leave. The court confined its decision to decriminalizing consensual same sex relations between adults and directed that any further legislative changes concerning marriage equality should be addressed by the parliament. So it throw the wall into the corridor of parliament to make law or not. It depends upon the parliament. So significant of the judgment is it is historical victory for the LGBTQ rights. The decision marked a monumental moment in India's legal history, ensuring that LGBTQ individuals were no longer criminalized for their sexual orientation. It was widely celebrated as a victory for human rights, equality, and individual freedom. This judgment was seen as a positive step towards greater acceptance of LGBTQ individuals in Indian society. It signaled that law should protect the rights of all citizens regardless of their sexual orientation and that discrimination based on sexual preference was unjust. The ruling was praised internationally as a victory for human rights, with India becoming the largest country in the world to decriminalize homosexuality in terms of the population. While the ruling was a major step forward, it left several challenges unaddressed, particularly regarding issues like same sex marriage, adoption rights, and discrimination in other areas such as healthcare, education, and employment. these remain ongoing issues for the LGBTQ community, and future litigation or legislative reforms are needed to address them. So, nutshell conclusion is this case, Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India case, is a landmark ruling that significantly advanced the rights of LGBTQ community in India by decriminalizing consensual same-sex relations. The Honorable Supreme Court affirmed the constitutional value of equality, privacy, and personal autonomy, helping to dismantle the oppressive legal framework that has marginalized the LGBTQ community for decades. While the ruling did not address all the concerns of the community, it was an important legal and social milestone in the ongoing fight for equality and recognition for LGBTQ individuals in India. So this is all about this case. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. That's all.